Welcome back to week number 1 of the Aegis Team League Season 2. I am Lasergician. Joined with me is the smoothest tones east of the Atlantic. What's up, C4?
I'm trying not to blush, thank you. But yeah, I'm good. Other than that, had some really sick games. Definitely woke me up, and we're gonna get some more just in a second. I can't wait.
Yeah, we got 2 more teams stepping up to the plate. First up is Team INZB in need of the buffs. I'm just going to call them I need buffs from now on because I'm not paid enough to say that more than once. We got Fern22, Danny, Dummy World, and Nature Boy. You know, you would think the spotlight was going to be on Danny. Been having a tear in Season 3 across all sorts of different online brackets, but today we're going to take a look at Fern22 also playing the Kai Kisuke.
Indeed. I remember them from season 1. Thanks to Aegis, that's kind of where I came familiar with their style. Fern was one of the other Kai players. You know, there was a lot of Kyle players, and I think it is very easy when you have someone. It happened to us with Zato. It was like, oh, are you as good as Latif? And I think Danny might kind of have that kind of mantle with Kai, but please don't sleep on Fern, because I did. I'm not gonna lie, I was on a full mattress commentating, and then I saw the cut of their style, and I was very, very impressed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this team plays, because they got 2 Kais, a Sin who is extremely strong, and then Dummy World on the Zato, who is potentially in need of the buffs. Okay, I'll say it twice. You're not getting another one though. So, and then I think it matches up pretty well against the field because there's just a lot of stable characters. And on the other side, we got Team GER, aka Guilty Ear something. I looked it up earlier, but it clearly didn't stick. But what did stick to me, Reloaded, that's what it is. Thank you, production. But what did stick is their lineup. They got Suicune on the Leo, Markiplier on the Axel, Etherlux on the Happy Chaos, and our featured player today going up against Fern is going to be Lakey on the Biken.
Biken, a very, very interesting character. If you've got any prior knowledge to Biken, I didn't really play anything prior to Rev, so I've heard about the shenanigans that Biken did in the older games, Plus R and Accent Core and stuff like that. But I feel Biken with the tether mechanic totally made me think, oh, this is a totally different character. It's the same skin, but the gameplay is the same. But then I saw Yazanshu, and Yazanshu is just one of those moves that it doesn't matter how long you play the game, it's a straight up 50-50. It can come at any moment, and you're never, ever, ever going to be ready for it. And that is kind of the great equalizer. As long as you can get into that range, which is kind of tough for Biken sometimes. She does have really good normals, but they're very, very rigid. They're either super strong in this very specific area, or they're kind of okay, like 2H at catching people walking back, but this is Guilty Gear. You don't catch people walking back too often. There's a few matchups, maybe like Nago, but Lakey's not going to have the opportunity to do that. They're going up against 2 stun dippers and the son of a stun dipper, and obviously, you know, Mr. Zato one. So I don't know how often they're going to be able to get into that range to perform stuff like Yuzanshu, far and closest. It's going to be very interesting to see.
I agree. I'm kind of stuck on Son of the Stun Dipper. That's bars right there. Looks like our first match is going to be Dummy World on the Zato going up against Etherlux on the Happy Chaos. That is an interesting matchup. I believe these two are getting into the room. Either already are or shortly will be. So that means we got just a couple seconds for chat and admins. If we can get the channel points betting going. Got a minute for that. But we got some time to laugh at Lakey talking about how don't let Winty hear you say catching people with 2H. I'm kind of here for that Twitter essay. That sounds fun. As someone who was not a Biken player, I was a Biken secondary in season 1. I'd be here for that kind of salt. That sounds like a good time.
Hey, I did preface, there was an asterisk, certain characters. Leo's never going to get hit by 2H. He's always crouching. It's fine. That's what I specifically said Nago when they're like 2 blood and they're playing that whole Samsho game. Sometimes you'll catch Nago. Most other characters, 2H is super risky. Decent reward if you get the counter hit. Like I said, I think Biken's a very all or nothing character. And I guess in Rev she was kind of all or nothing as well. She had like the Terminator run and stuff. That was kind of her way in, and when she got in, she had to stay there. Otherwise, it was pretty rough for her to get back in. But I feel they made some kind of quality of life changes, especially with the overdrive shotgun. The way that it forces you forward now instead of pushing you back. I think that was really cool. Again, it might not make too much of a difference to go, oh, I want you to be closer to me, so I'm going to spend overdrive, 50 tension, kind of expensive, but we see people do that with BRC all the time. So, you know, it's something that helps her control characters like Kai and Sin that can normally beat her in the kind of range poke game.
Yeah, definitely. And similarly, I'm curious to see how Zato versus Happy Chaos will go in that same kind of lockdown, control the pace of the game sort of style that you're talking about. I think we saw with the Krieg versus Snorlax matchup that if you get into certain situations where you can kind of get yourself cornered, not cornered as in next to the wall, but cornered as in like you don't have a lot of options left. Talking specifically about the burst into reset to neutral favoring Happy Chaos, Zato doesn't have a lot of ways in at that point. However, if Zato gets going, Happy Chaos doesn't really have a lot of options to get out of that sort of pressure. So I think this feels very much like two glass cannons trying to see which one cracks first.
Yeah, in a way, it's kind of like the character that passed the torch to the other one. It was Zato. This is Zato's thing. This was Zato's thing. What Happy Chaos does now is what Zato notoriously did. He just shut you off from playing the game and oppressed you infinitely. Obviously, in Strive, they added the wall break mechanic, but his slump game was really strong. He had PSR, he had Leap, he had, Kermit the Frog kind of controlling the space. Now he got nerfed, and now Happy Chaos does that with Curse into Shot. So it is, like you said, it's really interesting to see how these two characters do the same game plan in totally different ways.
And here we go. We'll see who can impose that game plan more effectively. Set number 2 kicks off here. Etherlux using the burst immediately. And here's kind of what I was talking about. We're really quickly seeing how the range game favors Etherlux right off the bat.
Yep. And there you go. Shooting Zao, getting rid of Eddie immediately, nullifying the game plan.
That's such a huge part of this matchup, too.
Massive. Yep. Oh, nearly got the J2 Ps to confirm on the ground. No bullets. And that is very similar to Eddie with no Zato. Ooh. So, Zato 1's going to put it to him. Yeah, there we go. Execution out. Sun Void for the Boomers. Here we go.
Yeah, I love the way Paradise Lost, a.k.a. I forget his name. Man, this is like the worst part of me as a commentator. My names are terrible, but structured that with the cross up into setting the sword to resummon Eddie really heads up play there, both in terms of position of their character and position to the wall.
Oh, not in a good position there. 2S, there's not really much of a position on screen you can be where that's not a threat. Crazy button there from Happy Chaos. Finds his way in, goes for the reload, 4 in the chamber, gets the space. Oh, God, gets him to block, which is kind of all Zato wants. There you go. And he surfs his way in. Tried to hold the corner, but didn't quite get the backdash to go far enough. Oh, we're just swapping sides. We're circling our opponent right now.
And we're baiting the burst as well, but we don't have Eddie to continue this pressure particularly strong. Ooh, the run up low, catches the toes, get the corner pressure going. Frog brings you back down to the ground. CS is going to keep this going as well. Blocks the overhead, but gets caught with a tap. Dust. Don't have much to convert this with. Can't find the wall sticks. We're going to need one more interaction. Spending all of this meter on FD to try and get you off of me, but no. Dummy World, I looked it back up, takes the first game.
Good stuff. The triple overhead. Grimy stuff again. Kind of a forgotten character, Zato, where he was very dominant, annoying, frustrating. Everyone kind of learned the matchup. And we saw some kind of interactions where you could see, oh, I remember what to do. It's kind of like going back into the memory banks. Yeah, when Eddie's down, you kind of want to just mash out, right? Because you know the damage from getting counter hit isn't going to be too much. But like I was saying, I think they've got very similar ways to establish their game plan. Even though Happy Chaos' 2S is better, I'm not going to say it's not. Range-wise, Zara kind of has the same thing. And if he has Eddie, it leads into I'm taking to the corner and starting my game plan.
Yeah, absolutely. They serve very similar purposes in how they can use to both like approach and control some space in the neutral. I think also one thing I noticed was the way that Dami World was using Oppose to keep Happy Chaos locked down and just run behind Eddie to establish pressure. I'm going to see if they keep that up. But instead, Ethelux is pretty happy to stay in the corner until they find a moment to run up and try and get the pressure going. Wild Assault buys a bullet back. Now we have enough for the concentration Brain Blast. Finds the stray hit out of the air to get the wall break. No resources to put into a hard knockdown, but with that much damage, you're perfectly happy.
100% Piercer. And knockdown start. Oh, we're going for the Sharknado. Command grab here from Zato. Was he going to go for the 2S? Yeah, doesn't have Eddie. Oh, cheeky. Kind of having like a Magneto tri-dash there. Goes for the low afterwards.
I love the way that they played that. They didn't have Eddie, so they goes for the Sharknado in order to buy some time, then go for a mix, then go for whatever you want because you've bought enough time to get Eddie back. Really, really good structure, but doesn't really matter when, you can just kind of Glock him out of the air. That's a round for Ethelux.
Yeah, nowhere to go when that crosshair's on you. Oh, what? 2D? That has to be take. That must have been labbed. Who does 2D against a Happy Chaos that has 2S?
I love it. That is such a weird, effective option. Ethelux loving the opportunity to get out of the corner now after all that risk was cranked too. We got a bar to put behind us if we want it. Ooh, is this going to bait the burst? How's this going to go?
No, burst should hit him. Yeah.
There it is.
Top trump on burst. Oh my gosh, back dash, steady aim. Welcome to the gun range.
Run up, try to cheat the range a little bit, but we're using some meter to get ourselves another turn. Frog carrying you into the corner, hopping over to the next stage after the score gets thrown down. Cool.
There we go, Piercer.
Damage.
Oh, and the deflect shield stopping Zao from getting in, even though it was only activated on the Eddie strike, blocks the dust. Are we gonna go for a 6K? We saw that earlier, the slow overhead. No, we're not. We're gonna get rollouts, Autobots. And that is going to be Happy Chaos taking another win.
Yeah, that was really well played. I really like the use of Deflect Shield against Eddie.
Yes.
That's one of those things that lower level players, intermediate players might not know is that if you use Deflect Shield on Eddie, you also push Zato back. And that can buy you so much space if used at the right time. So we saw that Ethelux using the Deflect Shield, buy some space, get the curse established, and then try and get your range game going again. Completely swung the momentum of that game.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like sometimes you have to look really deep for a flaw in something that's really strong, like Eddie. And Eddie's flaw is that he's so easy to deflect shield because everything he does is Moby hitting. He hasn't got any single striking attacks, right? So you block one thing, oh, I can definitely deflect shield the next thing. There's no bait or anything involved here.
Man, this man knows his Zato. First coming through.
I can't play him though. I've not got the execution.
Oh no, that's fine. Me either. That's why we're on the mic, right?
Absolutely.
Sword comes through. Not a lot of damage, but we're willing to take the resource that can snowball for us. Burst comes through from Ethelux. Really, really good tool against Zato. It both gets rid of Eddie and stymies the pressure. Goes for the tap dust, gets the RC into the low, and Happy Chaos is so good at carrying to the corner. Out of concentration, though, this might be an opportunity for Dami World.
PRC to see what's going on. Oh, backdash the pit. Oh no, didn't backdash the pit. It was a scapegoat actually. Leap connects though. Here we go. Eddie's gonna go on vacation anytime soon. And there's the YRC. Super smart. There's a burst on revenge. Goes for the Sharknado block. Oh, and I think that was a throw out of 5K.
And that was
close S. I think that was close S, right?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And that was such a good jump from Ethelux. If you see Eddie is gone after the burst, we've already seen that Dummy World wants to go for the command throw to try and get Eddie back. Ethelux evolving in real time. Run up 6P for Dummy World to keep the pressure going. Has a bar to throw behind this, but the 2P mash out of the 5 dust. 5 dust on the second round comes through though.
Invite to hell. Keeps him in the corner, tries to backdash, but now you're giving him space to get the gun out. Oh, it's got 4 resources. They're depleting very quickly, but it does get a hit.
Boom, we got the double cross up with the JHs. Wild Assault, no, not going to spend that. We need to find the bullets first. Now we got the reload cycle coming through. How's your execution, Ethelux? Down on concentration, but finds the double concentrate.
Oh, clean pickup. Oh, can't burst. Is this going to be enough? I think this is enough.
It just might be. No, not
Stop
quite. And he
it.
didn't throw down the sword, so he doesn't have Eddie. Uses the Wild Assault to get the plus frames with the Guard Crush because he has the BRC into the Tap 5 Dust to close the round out. We are at 1 apiece. Dami World not going down. And maybe 2-0, but it's not 3 yet.
For real, for real. Pushing him through the glass. Smashed everywhere. There we go. 2S to get rid of the scapegoat and apply the pressure from full screen. Using the new burst. Well, it's not new anymore, but to the series, full screen. Have to protect yourself. As we can see, Happy Chaos trying to protect himself against Eddie and Zato. Didn't last forever. Goes low. There's the sword. No
Zato
stone
may
in
not
sight, but it's
be-
going in Happy Chaos.
Yeah, Zato may not be the OP anymore, but that mix high-low when you're in the corner has never gone out of vogue. Throw the sword down, put it back in the stone in the ground, keep this pressure going. We got another one behind it? We built the meter again. No, we're PRCing. Risk is cranked, YRC. I love that choice. Keep yourself a little safer, but the JP mash air to air keeps the turn going. BRC into the overhead, the mash out C4.
That's wild, because that's cancelable. That 6K is definitely cancelable. Beat whatever option was going to be after that. Goes for the drunken shape, but nothing to prevent Black. These bullets always land. Eddie, where are you? It might be too late. What was that?
He could have confirmed in any other way instead of 4 2Ps and he would have won the round. Instead, YRC with the Blue Beat combo. Shout out Boston Blue Beat, my homies from up north. That's going to be 3-0 for Etholux. That is tragic. The BRC opened up the opportunity, but they didn't believe. They tried to go for the safe option to buy a turn back instead of stealing the round. You hate to see it.
It's the I think it's like a classic. Like Zato's reversal is 6p, sorry, 5p or 2p. Yeah, that's kind of their go-to. This is the only thing I can do to check. It is risky, but in that situation, like you said, once you've committed to that many, like 2 or 5p's, the only confirm he has is to RC, but didn't have the meter to do it.
Oh, it looks like we were wrong. It was actually 2-1, not 3-0. So we got one more going. You and I got a little hype. These things happen.
I did. I guess Domi must have won the first game then.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're back on track. We got there.
Let's see if they can turn it around. We've seen it happen already in today. Ooh, and look at the pressure so far. Cool, calm, and calculated. There's a burst on the Zato being down. I understand that. Makes perfect sense. Oh, and an offensive burst again from Domi.
Yeah, that was timed with when they were going to get Eddie back. So they used the burst to get the space to summon Eddie and enforce the turn in the corner again. Throwing the sword down. We got a huge life lead here for Dami. Now we have a resource advantage as well. Eddie's going to be back in just a second after we don't even need to care. We're just going to take the round instead.
Officially invited to hell. Oh, what a trade. That's okay. Domi's absolutely labbed round starts against Happy Chaos. We've seen it twice now. Trade in their favor and the 2D earlier to beat 2S. I love a lab monster.
And I feel like that's the Zato classic, right? Get in the lab, find out something grimy that you're never going to see again, never going to see before, carry them to the corner, get Eddie back out again. GG, shake my hand. You are cordially invited to hell.
RRVP, please, when you're ready. Oh, and the unsummon. Was that to bait the deflect shield? Because we've seen it twice, right? Like I was saying, the Moe hitting, I guess I lied. I gaslit the chat. So you can make Eddie do one attack. That's what unsummoning. And maybe I spoke too soon about saying that's Eddie's weakness. It's too easy to deflect shield him. When you're a good player like Domi, you can bait stuff like that. So again, this is why I'm behind the mic and not behind the sticks, pad, or hitbox.
And I think that might have actually been the fastest game we've seen today.
Yeah.
Speed running our way to 2-2. By the way, thank you all for being here. We know Summer Games Done Quick is going on, and you have a choice on your streaming for the Wednesday, and we appreciate your being here with us. Game number 5 kicking off right here.
Okay, far rest trade in that time. Not totally in Zao's favor, but somehow still gets the corner against Happy Chaos. Not an easy feat. The JP not in range, and again, he would be very aggressive burst. But get pushed out by a burst in return.
Ooh, and gets to run up for free because Etholux ran out of concentration. Oppose into the throw. Space was earned by throwing Eddie's defensive body at Happy Chaos. Now we're just going to keep throwing wave after wave of our own shadow at him. Get the super confirm, break the wall, get the round away here for Dami.
And we almost counted him out at 3-0. Tekka, he's a lab monster. I love to see it. And he's going to get rewarded. Oh, no, there's the burst there. But now it's off the table. Zhao can run riot as long as he can get one hit here. Back throw, that kind of counts as a hit.
Yeah, we'll take it. Get the frog out here too. Get the drills. The mix coming through with the visual clutter. Throw down the sword. One more interaction should do it here for Dami. And there's not a lot of resources on the side of his opponent. We confirm with meter. Doesn't get the burst in time. Means that Dami, on side in need of the buffs, takes the first game of the set.
Living up to his name. Zato definitely won. Definitely won. Doesn't happen too often in this day and age, in this climate. But it's you love to see it against a happy chaos. Hope that inspires some people. It's possible. It's not easy though. Domi being exceptionally sick playing today. And I think sometimes, especially in the team format, when you have something more to fight for than yourself, you can't. Sometimes it can, it can hinder you and be like a bit more pressure. But that's how you make diamonds. So I think that definitely helped Domi take that game. Was it 3-2 in the end?
Yeah, 3-2.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what the players think in terms of like the pressure because of the format, right? Because you're totally right that you are playing for more than just yourself. On the other hand, you also got some backup, right? If you just aren't on top of it today, then you have the rest of your team to try and pick up your slack, and next week you can pick up the slack for them. So it could really fall on either side, just a player-to-player mentality kind of thing. I'd be really curious to get inside their heads between this and next week.
Yeah, that would be super cool to hear the insights, like you said, about the players. I know me personally, as a Leo player, if I'm playing with other people's like tournament life on the line, you will see way less flash kicks.
That's true.
Because I'm one of those people. I go inwards instead of outwards. I don't express myself more when I'm playing for someone else. But speaking of Leo, we're going to get the Battle of the Kings. Kyle Kisuke versus Leonardo.
It's going to be Danny, the king of Season 3 online tournaments, going up against Suicune, the king of water-type dogs. Corner pressure coming out already from Danny with the aura. Has 50 to put behind it. Suicune already using the burst.
And something we didn't see earlier with MF's match, the Fireball game. And I'm going to say it, and I'm pretty sure everyone agrees, Leo's Fireballs completely destroy Kai's Fireballs in this iteration of Guilty Gear.
Absolutely, yes. But you know what? Sometimes it doesn't really matter when your opponent is Danny and he's just kind of gonna run the round over on you. Easy, quick win for Danny coming out in the first game. Suicune got some time to adapt. It's still for a best of 5. So not too worried yet. Still got time to feel things out. Looking at the fireball timing.
Oh, gets the blocking time after that boom. Tries to run away, but that Fares is gonna be very oppressive. Speaking of oppressive, super oppressive V. Thanks for the raid there. Just in time for the second set. Oh, guard point on the rainbow flip.
X the throw. Buys a turn to kind of come up. Check with the 6Ps again. Finds a counter hit that time. Run up with the RC. Got the good optimals with the fireball confirm. Not quite enough to close out the round though. Needs one more touch. 2K. And with the 6P. Cross through with the vapor thrust is going to close it out for Danny. First time represented in the set means not on your mind yet. Now you got to think about it for the rest of the set.
I like the option, especially in a first to 3, best of 5. When a Leo goes into back turn, the biggest deal that maybe some people kind of don't take into mind is that Leo cannot block.
Right.
So DP until they're showing you that they're capable and in the mindset of doing counter in back turn. Because once you can establish that they have to do counter sometimes in back turn, that means they're not mixing you up and you can get away.
Ooh, Pariah Docs also coming through with the raid. Another 13 people. Thank you, everybody. Hope you've all had a wonderful night. Danny having a wonderful time with the 6Ps, countering the JD. Burst coming out from Suicune already. The fireball game that you were talking about earlier, though, has been really effective at keeping Danny's approach at bay.
Indeed. Oh my gosh, dash 5K. I love that button as the whiff punish.
JD checks.
So good, right? Looking like Soul right now. Oh, the meteor's 5k. What? And that's a really, really hard button for Leo to beat is 6p. Kai 6p especially, because people might not know this, but Leo's 2D loses to 6ps. It's an airborne low, technically.
Yeah, his hitbox is very high, but also his hurtbox is vulnerable to 6p for that same reason. Here we go. Got the shock state down. Gonna try and play some neutral. Get the shock state again with the fireballs. Got some space to cover. Just trying to box Suicune in, right? We're gonna keep the pressure going. The risk is super high. If I can just keep you here, my far slash can pay my taxes for me. I'll bait that burst, put you on the wall, put the second dub on the wall right next to it.
Flawless round there from Danny. Everything just fell into place, right? The pressure, the burst bait, even building up the risk. You could see he really had control of the match when you like run up to a Leo and then backdash and they don't flash kick. There's something you've implied it into their mind to give you that much respect, even though you are the second king. But yeah, to give that much respect to Kai, that's something Danny's implemented and force it onto his opponent.
Yeah, there's a lot of conditioning to instill that fear into a Leo player.
Not easy to do.
Yeah. Game number 3 coming through here. Danny up 2-0. Might be the last game of the set. Suicune needs to show up here to stay in it. We were talking a little bit during the intermission. These rounds do matter for the purpose of potential tiebreakers later on in the league. Here we go. Danny getting the hard knockdown with a 2D. Structures the strike throw off of the fireball, goes for the throw, the 6p for some plus frames. We're just gonna box him in again. Say you don't get to leave here. We have a system here, but I'm the king of Illyria. You can't keep me in a cage.
Diplomatic immunity. Oh, catches the backdash with the close S. Very late burst, but it might not be too late for the comeback. 6p hit with the lion. Goes for a back throw to take him out of the corner. That was insanely ambiguous.
We got meter to go with this too. No, we go for one more mix. Finds it. Can we confirm? Yes, sir. Whirlwinds of death coming through. Break the wall. Put a round on the board. I think that's the first one for Suicune, and it did not come a minute too late.
Absolutely. And it came from a throw. All from a throw. Just put into the blender. Dash 2S. I like it. We're looking for option. We're finding them. There's an option, though. Dragon Punch to get out of the back turn pressure. Applying the pressure for themselves here. Direct extensions as well off the OTG. Good damage here from Kyle.
And all of that was won simply off of a fast RC JH. Got the conversion because the risk was cranked from the jump in. Then a run up throw gets Danny onto set point. All of that from 2 interactions.
Absolutely gross. Meaty 5k bait. Well, the flash didn't get baited. He came out and got to throw it. That is real tech. And again, yeah,
Suicune tried to challenge it, but Danny was too ready for it.
6p beats literally everything but 2k from Leo. Can't do anything. Or maybe your own 6p, then you might get a clash. Oh, okay. Sacred Edge is going to get the static shock on his opponent, but they're on such low health. I don't think it matters because that's going to be it. Ending it with the throw. Putting the second king back in his place. Danny taking it over. The legendary water dog. Suicune.
And off of a perfect as well. That was a dominating performance coming out of Danny. I think this is the performance we've come to know Danny for over the course of season 3, right? Season 1 and 2, definitely getting things done. One of the best Kais in North America, without question, but he is really on another level this season. He has really stepped up his game, and he's just insanely consistent with the way he's been able to put up numbers like this.
Yes, and I think it's quite hard to do that with a character like Kai. Kai's very rudimental, it's kind of like straightforward. Everyone understands what he's about. And I think even in that set with Danny, there wasn't that many stun dippers, like in neutral.
Right.
We saw a couple in combos, but that's what people were kind of worried about. But Danny's found a way to be like, oh, you're so scared of this, it allows me to do all of these other things. We're going to see another Kyle on screen here from Fern, and we're going to get another Slayer, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, not running the bike in. We're going straight for the big damages. And Lakey also with an aura. Look at that. Man's been putting in the reps on the Slayer.
Love to see it. Making sure that their new characters battle ready, battle hardened. But are they going to be able to get in on the king here? It's looking rough at the moment.
Ooh,
Wow,
Lakey
what a call out.
really tried to send the farm with the 2H there, fishing for a counter hit. Fern not gonna go for that. Instead, the BRC out of the jump in, fast cancel the buttons. You can find the throw. Grimy stuff to close the round out.
Very, very tricky. Oh, what a vapor thrust. That was wild. Very, I like the anticipation. Okay, 2 cards with 6Ps that form an elbow. Oh, the running man.
The pile bunker to keep it. Burst safe, not too important because Fern didn't have burst, but does get the automatic wall splat. Ooh, vapor thrust into the RC. I was real afraid that I was about to get baited. Finds the bite. Are we going to find the universe? Not quite. PRC comes through. Gold burst gets Fern the corner position.
Good trade on the jump in there. Oh, hello?
That was that was a confirm. What?
That's what it was. I was about to say, that was a intentional out of the corner you go, so I have something cooked for you mid-screen. Oh, and the bait as well. We said this, right? We said this at the top of the teams here when we had the spotlight on Fern. Don't sleep on Fern. Yes, they have Danny on the same team, but Fern is, I don't know if they're cooking or they're just like serving up raw sushi, but whatever it is, it's tasty. I like that. Taking them out of the corner to go for the left right on the heavy stunnage is so clean.
Let me see if we can get the second dish here in game number 2. I'm ready for more. Ready for seconds.
Definitely.
Lakey sticking with the Slayer. See what the round start is. Last time was the Mappa. This time it's the back dandy into the People's Hammer. Master's Hammer, right? Master's Hammer? I think that's what it is. The Mappa is challenged with the Vapor Thrust. Got the wrist cranked for Lakey already up to about a half. The counter hit, that was a good burst. That damage would have been significant if it came through.
Speaking of significant damage, Slayer has not had a chance to show any of it right now. Getting pressed in the corner, and we are getting deja vu. The Stomp again losing to Sacred Edge. Fern has such a read here. They've rented out the book of Lakey so many times with that corner pressure, but now Lakey's not in the corner. Let's see what they can do. They can bait a Vapor Thrust, and they are gonna spin Kai's job with all these haymaker punches.
And we are lucky that Lakey didn't have 50 to put behind that. The double cross through with the dashes. Universe off of the fast RC. Confirmed with a wall splat with the pile bunker guaranteed into the super Mappa. Ooh, who's cooking now?
Barbecued indeed. Wow, round star S. Power bunker for the knockdown. Try to chase, and I love it. Went for the Kara. But again, Kai too slippery there, gets out of dodge, brings the health bars to about equal, and that traded? Damn.
Funky trade on the Mappa at the restart, but Fern getting the shorter end of the stick when Lakey finds the universe off the 2H. Pile bunker, guaranteed wall splat, 1 apiece here. Lakey finding that rhythm that he needed.
This Slayer pressure's kind of interesting, right? We're seeing a lot of dashes, and I don't know if they're real. It looks like too much of a frame kill for my liking, but I'm too scared to reversal, and so is Fern apparently, and they're just getting bitten left, right, and center. It's like mosquitoes in the tropics right now, and yeah, it just leads to so much, right? I think after getting the bite, they've always got the counter hit, right? Or the universal hit Lakey has, so It's a good ratio to have.
That's 1 apiece now. Remember, this is set number 3 between these two. So between these two teams, that is. So it's gonna be a 1st to 4, best of 7 between these two. Lakey with the Mappa. Second Mappa gets jumped, but we find the CS anti-air counter hit. He missed time our meaty though. Fern's got a chance here. Oh, never mind.
Oh wait! It's so nice. He had to do it twice. Being the stun dipper with the stomp.
The charge 5D. You just did it to him. Burst comes out for Lakey. Not willing to take the hard knockdown. Not willing to take the damage. Fern gets the corner carry. PRC comes through for Lakey to try and keep themselves safe. 5P challenges the air approach. Is this going to be enough? Not quite. The 2H though, that's going to be enough with the counter hit.
All right, the stomps are landing now. When they're not in the corner, they seem to work. It's only when they're in the corner and Fern has me to do Sacred Edge. Big jump in. Gonna take him to the corner as well. The king means business. Says you look too close to me. We've got the same color gums on. Who's your tailor?
That's true. These two are really looking like they got something going on between the two. On Wednesdays, we wear black.
Yeah, true. Ooh, and we ride the lightning apparently as well. Decent-ish damage for ride the lightning. It's not the most damaging most of the time, but holding on to the burst, I like it. And to be fair, with Slayer, sometimes it doesn't matter how much health your opponent has. A burst is always a good burst because you can make the comeback.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You can never count Slayer out. Using the burst early, this means you at least have the opportunity to build up enough burst meter to use for Wild Assault. You might get a second burst. It's unlikely because Kai's damage can be really high if you can optimize. We get the wall break. We do not use the super, though. Don't have the hard knockdown. It's exactly what you were saying. Lakey could always make this comeback, but no, the tap dust finds Lakey coming down out of the air, confirms for a perfect 2-1 in favor of Fern on the set.
I love the decision making. I'm a very big fan of breaking the wall and holding on to the tension instead of going for the hard knockdown. Because against certain characters, maybe against Slayer, it's a little bit risky because he's got the whole, backdash into strike.
Right.
But having a BRC at your disposal at kind of like the round start situation after wall break and your opponent doesn't, you basically control neutral.
Yeah.
Because they can't compete with your BRC. You BRC and you know exactly what to do because the slowdown gives you that information.
Yeah, it's like a Rev YRC, right? You get to read the situation for a second, see what's going on, find a counter hit just like Fern has here. Can't find the wall stick, but does the burst bait. And a second counter hit into the Sacred Edge. This is such a good life lead for Fern.
Hey, Fern,
I'm waiting. You were talking about.
Yeah, the backdash is scary. That's why I was surprised. Oh, I thought I was going to be a whiff punish. No shot. The Sacred Edge, not as fast as the gun. Oh, the cross up.
Is it time? Is it Slayer time? 2H comes through. The 2P mash means Fern is back in the driver's seat. Sacred Edge met with PRC, and we're going overhead, baby. Flip kicks. Give me this round.
I love the PRC to be like, oh, I can't afford to get hit by this, but just put himself in a sticky situation. It's all good. Situation, averted by the burst. 6P the running man. Oh, wow, you can OTG get a confirm from that? I did not know that.
I did not. This man is so aware of his routing at all times, knows the options. PRC for the triple quadruple overhead, was that? Insane. The PRC after the stun edge as well, or the fireball rather. 6K to try and keep the plus frames. Look at this pressure. That risk is so high, and the 5K counter hit, but we don't confirm.
Look at the hand signs from Slayer on the block animation. It's not going to be enough. He was asking for some reprieve, but he's not going to get it. Fern getting another perfect. What can you say, man? Just making Kai look really aggressive, and I think you don't tend to see that too much other than like strike throw. But like you said, the overhead game was perplexing, really perplexing. Just didn't get any chance to maneuver, and I honestly don't think Viking could have done any better. Maybe they could have risked doing count. Well, we're gonna find out. I don't hate this choice. Fern's been relying pretty heavily on the fireball game to keep the Slayer out, and the Viking has the tatami mat to try and counteract that. So he also got a little bit of comfort. Like obviously, he's been playing Viking for as long as the character's been out. So if the Slayer's not feeling it, I don't think the Viking is a bad choice at all. That said, though, Fern is at set point 3-1 here. Yeah, Kabare not quite in range yet. Oh, try to backdash so close to making that whiff. But yeah, one block of a Kai special, other than Stun Dipper, it feels like you're just in a world of pain.
Yeah, we've seen Fern able to extend these pressure sequences absurdly long. It just feels like there's no way out when he can keep building these resources thanks to positive bonus. Also being able to build these resources both in the burst meter and in the tension gauge at the same time. Really, really hard to try and get out of that position. He needs to do it now, though. Otherwise, the set is going in favor of Fern. 2P mash out.
Yeah, after being stunned as well. Really, really risky, but had to be done. They've also got the opportunity to counter, and that's something I was thinking could be a useful tool in this matchup against the IAD pressure, and something you spoke about, right? Putting the mat down to stop the stunnage.
Wild Assault comes through here for Fern. Lots of overheads. Again, like we've seen before, cranking the risk. Burst available for Lakey. Got to see how that's used. Throw is teched, and the trade goes in favor of Lakey. Now we got something to go with. There's that gun we were talking about a while ago, pulling Fern back in. But no, Lakey can't find the confirm all the way. Vapor Thrust buys Fern to turn back.
All the 6 feet whiffs on the other side. Ducks underneath the stun. Edge 2S trying to fish. changes the Drake on the fireballs, gets a cross up, but no confirm. There's a burst on the table. Oh, not going to use it.
Couldn't find it. Yep. Wild assaults just get in. Corner pressure has been so effective so far for Fern, trying to just play lame and safe, and the Vapor Thrust seals the set for Fern, and in favor of Anita's buffs 3-0 between these two teams in our second set of the day.
What a plugged in Vapor Thrust at the end there. Crossed up and it went, no. I don't care what button you're pressing. I'm doing this. I'm done playing poking footsies. I'm going to let you know about invincibility. Clean stuff there from Fern taking it. And the character swap kind of just seemed to stick with the same game plan, right? It really didn't change from Slayer to Biken, it seemed.
Yeah, I agree. I think Fern was, like you said, really locked into the game plan, right? It was play space control until I find a stray hit, and then absolutely maul you in the corner until you break. And you will break because I know how to keep my pressure going as long as I need to in order to make that happen. There were some crazy mix-ups there with the fast RCs for the overheads, coming off of the flip kicks, coming off of things like, there was a couple of grimy mixes off of fast RC after the fireball, which was insane. Yeah. I don't know. Fern, I think, just had a really good, solid game plan backed by just enough tech to make it happen.
And it's really crucial for the team. Like we was talking about at the top of the stream, all these points matter, and the set games matter as well, because if it does come down to aggregate, having won a match 3-0 versus 3-2 is obviously going to be more favorable for you. So all these games matter, and they will be mattering for these 6 weeks for the playoffs.
Yeah, we got 6 weeks. Week 1 is wrapping up right now, which means we got 5 more weeks of regular play between the different teams. Then got 4 weeks after that of playoff season. So for the next 9 weeks, Wednesdays, Aegis FGC is going to be the place for Guilty Gear Strive, except for 1 week where we're taking a break for Evo.
Yeah, I think that's a well-deserved break. Yeah, it's fair enough. Players might not be available to play. They're going to be out touching grass. Well, touching sand, I guess it's in Vegas, right?
How dare
desert, touching mad heat. So yeah, it's going to be insane. If anyone was here, like I said, for season 1, season 2 looks to be like tenfold in terms of entertaining, and level of play is going to be through the roof, as we've seen a lot of these teams so far, and only today there's so many more, like you was mentioning earlier.
Yeah, and you know what else there is so many more of? Reasons to check out Zen Market, one of our favorite sponsors, helping us make this happen. They are your one-stop solution for buying products directly from Japan. It can be really hard to find shipping there, and they make it as easy as they can. They'll help you buy items from over 10,000 different shops in Japan, as well as place bids on auctions on your behalf. They can help consolidate all your items into just one box, ship it internationally as safely and as easy as possible. They have excellent customer service across 19 different languages, which is why Zen Market is one of the most trusted platforms by over 2 million users worldwide. And if you want to get in on it, check the panel below the stream or click the link in the chat to try them now. If you sign up with the promo code Aegis, get 1,000 yen off your first international shipping fee. These guys are amazing. They can help you access anything you may want to find. We'll be talking about them throughout this entire league for a reason. They're really, really great. Go check them out. Use the code Aegis. And I think that about wraps us up, unless, C4, you got anything else you want to shout out before we tie it down for the day?
Shout outs to Aegis and yourself for, carrying me on comms today. It's a bit late, so I'm sorry if the energy wasn't super, super high. But like I said, the matches definitely uplifted me. And I am just really grateful for you guys having me and putting on these really sick matches. And shouts to people in chat and production in the back, the unsung heroes that you don't see, holding it down through technical difficulties, but still bringing us the action.
Hell yeah. I got one thing to shill, because my friends would kill me if I don't. Up in Boston, we got a regional coming up in August for Boston Blue Beats Beach episode. Third year we're running it. It's going to be the biggest and best yet. I'm going to be on comms there. Come hang out. It's a good time. Registration is still open for a couple more weeks. Shout out to my friends over there. And I think that'll do it, unless production has anything else to say. 3, 2, 1. Nope, we're good. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. See you next week.